Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our live stream. I hope everyone's had a fantastic week and looking forward to seeing what we've got for you today. For those of you that don't know, my name is John Dickinson, working here with Teach Me Code and Biela, and really excited about what we're going to do today. Before we start, just want to say massive thanks to the development team, to everyone that's associated with this project. Hopefully, all of the users are starting to see massive upgrades in terms of capability of the platform, working with some of the biggest players in the industry to make sure that we're providing the very best of technology, integrations, support, so that the experience just gets better and better and the output gets better and better again and again. So some very exciting things coming down the road. I think you guys have seen some of the exciting things we've done with the likes of Getty Images and GitHub and PayPal. And I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see what's possible moving forwards. So today we've got some exciting things for everybody. We've also got somebody to join us who's, I think, recognized within the industry as being an absolute thought leader, the chairman and founder of Teach Me Code Institute here in Dubai, and the visionary behind what we've created with Biela and the democratization of the ability to create digital experiences. Our chairman, Alexandru Cocindau. So we're very, very excited to see what you've got to say. Hello, Alex. How are you?
Hello, hi everyone. I'm fine. Thank you for having me today, and thank you for being in our call today as well. Thank you for being someone which is following BLI, and he has, let's say, the appetite and the interest to believe that the coding in with AI, the so-called vibe coding, is the future towards where this industry goes. I prepared today the continuation of our past call, and when I received the project from our colleagues, I realized that this could be a good opportunity for us to learn eventually how very oftenly met mistake in the vibe coding could be corrected. However, I will explain where is the issue. We started this project live last time, as many other users do, in React, but we realized we will need a database now, right? So we need to connect it to what we call database. In our case, this would be Supabase. Well, in this scenario, we will have to refactor the entire code, because obviously we need to move to Next.js so we can basically support the backend of the entire platform which we are trying to connect.
Okay.
So having that in mind, I want to explain first how will you do that if you already started your project with React and you would like to migrate it to Next, in order for you to have obviously a Supabase connection. And for the next hour, we should play and we should see where we are reaching with this, and obviously to continue into our next call until this platform can be ready for the people to use it. So let me share my screen.
Fantastic.
All right, and here we are. So I just opened the project. Honestly speaking, I don't know much about it, but I saw it's a course platform, right? So many people are selling courses these days. So basically, this is their trick. They have to sell a course to teach you how to sell a course to become rich, right? So
Let's do that.
so let's create a platform for these so-called entrepreneurs of the internet and the riders, and to allow them maybe to, who knows, this time really sell those courses, right?
Let's do that. Let's do
Create
that.
for them the right environment. All right, so this is React right now, as you can see. I didn't knew that. I just begun two minutes before the call started, as you can see, and I wanted to check what is the technology, and then I simply asked Biela All right, you see here it's where I started
Mhm.
now, and I asked, is this a next project? Okay, I learned that this is not a next project, and I said that I would like to implement databases and the real data. You can create a plan to convert it into the next, and mark it with X for each step. All right. So what I did next, I checked also if the instructors are let's say included into this, and we have this following plan. So what am I gonna do now usually, and I'm gonna show you something, is that um, I'm gonna save the text somewhere to make sure that this is not going to be altered by the AI. So just a second. All right. So let me reshare my screen now. So here we are. Basically, we have here the plan, and if we are looking a little bit through it, in order for us to understand what the AI wants to do, and now we have to, let's say, a little bit raffinate it, all right? So create the new next 14, configure, set up, all right, all right. So what I'm gonna do now, don't you think, before we begin, that it would be better if we do all the entire UX first, and then we migrate the database. So we begin basically with the migration to Next.js, and then we do the rest of the UI UX components, uh, and we do a total cleanup to make sure is no React breadcrumbs left, um, wrong files or unconnected libraries, and at the end we do connect and do the migration to Supabase. I would like to edit the MD plan in such a order. And for this, I'm going to use going settings in Control Center, and I'm going to make sure that my AI diff mode is on. That's going to allow Biela to edit the current file instead of rewriting it completely from scratch.
And Alex, that increases the speed and reduces the token usage. That's right?
That's increasing basically the speed. In which sense? Not necessarily in the way is it written, but in the clarity and the number of generated errors. However, this is the basic logic even behind the roadmap system,
Sure.
just that the roadmap is not able to interact straight with your vision over refactoring. So that's why it's still a very good thing to know how to use an MD file when it comes about vibe coding. So right now we are editing the file a little bit for us to rearrange the steps on which this update is going to be performed. Do we have music on this live stream?
Please.
Yeah, because I said it so many times to run music on the background. It would be more nice, less boring, let's say like that. I can. All right. So now
Now,
it's rearranged it. Yeah, but you can put it a little bit lower. I still want to hear myself. All right. So the framework migration doesn't break existing. UI development happens in stable, complete cleanup. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna prompt him the next thing. Yes, I would like you to begin, and after each phase, not before, you will mark in the file what has been done. You will perform cleanup of the unnecessary code or files after each step, and you will think before you decide if that task has been done or not. Do not mark it until you literally check if it has been done. And we continue that way up until the end of the plan. That's very important. That helps you. This prompt helps you a lot. Why? Because sometimes when you're prompting like that, the AI hallucinates, then he starts marking tasks as they would have been done already, which is very bad for you when you are executing the plan, because in that moment you can realize that the AI starts to hallucinate more and more and more because he still believes he did those tasks, but you never actually did, right?
Okay.
This is a technique I'm using when I create very large projects. Now we will see a lot of BLI in action, let's say like this. We have big plans for the future in BLI, and we will come with very, very big, uh, let's say, innovative releases, in my opinion, but this is a thing to judge for the community as well. As you can see, more and more solutions are coming on the market, but very few can really compare with the technology behind BLI and the way BLI works. And I want to take this opportunity again to thank to my team and to tell how proud I am of them. So very soon, uh, I think if not is already active, you will be able to refer a friend, and how whatever your friend is loading as tokens, you receive as a bonus as well. So that's free for all, let's say like that.
Nice, nice.
You just have to use your referral link, share it to your friend, and that's it. From that moment on, wherever for the first for this month, actually, whatever he loads the entire month, you will receive the other on your own account the same amount of tokens as the person which you referred.
It's making it genuinely accessible to everyone.
Well, it is already accessible to everyone, John. To be
But
honest, when it
even
comes,
more, even you can do even
it's a few
more.
bucks a month,
Yeah.
and who knows, maybe in the very future we will have even the possibility for the people uh, to subscribe for free. Who knows? We are checking for some partnerships in that sense, but yeah. So as you can see, it finished, but it didn't really actually mark what has been done. So I guess I'm gonna tell him continue to check and forget to fix. Okay. So as you can see, sometimes the MD file can be hardly ignored. That's why we need to keep an eye on it and to make sure that we need to mark properly in the file what has been done. Otherwise, you will have problem with what is going to be in the future as well. More than this, when you create an MD file, I suggest that you follow the entire plan until the end. This will not take the logic of the AI context wise thinking away from the main scope. So you don't shift topics like that. You finish your stuff, what you prepared for the entire plan, and deal with the entire generated amount of bugs at the very end only. Because also some of the bugs, if you want to fix them now, they might not be even actual bugs. They are there only because they have different dependencies to the files which they will exist in the future. So therefore, if you're trying to fix that now, all you're gonna do is to break more your project instead of making it come together, right?
Sure.
I think the record I had so far it's around 3,000 lines of code per file, which speaking about this is not a good way of architecting software, let's say like that. So, in my opinion, when you see that the AI does a big file like that for you, you should ask the AI to rewrite the entire file without losing any kind of functionality while maintaining the entirely same UI and UX into modularized structure for your project. And that's it. That's gonna make the AI to take the 800 lines of code file, 800, 1000, however, and split it into small files to which also you can specify the amount of lines of code you are looking to get approximately, obviously, per each file. So you can mention in the previously instructed prompt I gave you that you would also like to have the file the maximum, let's say 300 to 400 lines of code per file. That's going to help you improve the modularity. That's going to save you tokens in the future because obviously if you need to do a change, it's not going to go through the entire part of the code which has to be rewritten completely because now it needs only a little bit of that file and not the entire file to do your fixing. And more than that, obviously, you will win a lot of time because, as you can see, it's not going to go and read the entire large file just for you to do a small thing. So it's a very good thing to keep it in mind. All right, we are already, but you see, this is strange because he says he's thinking and he's applying, but I'm not seeing actually
Mm.
any if executed, right? So before we do that, you see we have errors. So we just ignore them for now. We are looking to complete our plan. And I'm going to tell him you updated can see not why. The word why is very important. It's not because you don't know why or what you don't understand. It's just to make the AI ask himself and look deeper to understand what it does wrong in order for him to make it right. So now let's see if not this is the first time when I see this bug, to be honest, and I will ask him to rewrite it because I can't see where it does the where it marks the. Hmm. Okay, rewrite the plan completely. Make sure. No, what I'm gonna do actually, I'm gonna go in the control center and I'm gonna show him like this. Tasks are still not marked. Oops. Okay, he is gonna see that, and now by disabling the diff mode, I have also the chance to see if he really actually writes in this file. Yeah, and he does.
Now, see the
Now he's
difference.
gonna do it, right? And I gave him also a little bit of context. What is it going on there? And one more important step, which I would do before I migrate to the database, is that I would, when I finished implementing everything, I would love to ask Biela to take a look over one more time. You see, here we have a problem because he just said here that he completed phase 2, phase 3, and phase 5. All right, and he wants to do then the phase 2, the database architecture and setup. Okay, we can try that. So we can follow its purpose actually. So I'm here and I'm gonna just go to my databases and I'm gonna try to create now a new project. Uh, let me just how shall I call it? Uh, TMC live, let's say. So all I had to do is to go in my Supabase account. I choose one of the projects, and or you can go simply here and you can add a new organization and you can call this organization as your project. This is how actually it should work. All right, so as you can see, the CSS is not working, nothing. Don't worry about that. It's not important for us now. Now we are connecting it to the database, right? So I'm here in my Supabase account. So I'm just gonna go to take the project name, TMC LMS, let's say. I don't know what LMS stands for. TMC.
Learning management system.
Okay. And this is personal, and I just created an organization. All right. I'm just going to generate a password. You don't need to save it. You don't need to do absolutely nothing with this. Project name TMC LMS. I'm going to call this as well. And that's it. This is my database as we speak. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to the code and I'm going to click connect database. And I have to select from here in case I have multiple organizations to which organization I want to connect this project to. So obviously we just created it, so it will be TMC LMS. I'm going to authorize Biela for that. We're now connected to Supabase. And Biela should recognize that. Okay, now I'm connected. And I'm gonna go link to this database, right? So now I'm gonna be asked if I want to link. And I'm gonna go confirm. Or should I just tell it that I'm connected? It seems like it's connected,
It
right?
says active, right?
Oh, failed to link to this database. Okay, let me see if all right, so I'm just gonna mention that I connected to Supabase. Let's see what he's gonna go do next. I'm not happy with the way Supabase is integrated right now in Biela, so we're gonna do a lot of improvement in this sense. And let's see where we go now. I don't know why it's creating again the same files, as you can see. If not, I will teach you a trick now of how you can use Supabase and Biela, but disconnected in the same time. You don't need, if you don't want to use it through Biela, if it's not working, you can use it separately. All you will have to do is to go here in the SQL editor and put here the SQL file. Or second option, you are able now to run your SQL manually from here. But this is, again, I repeat, for a short next period of time, because a huge improvement is going to come on the Supabase as well, maybe within the next maximum 2 months.
Okay.
Somehow the time is flying when you're vibe coding. You see, it's already
Yes.
the half of the call. It's basically half an hour, and all I did is 2 prompts or 3 prompts here and there. But we have to admit that this would have been already job for days for some developers, right? So the amount of the output of your work coming up out in such a short time is humongously when it comes about the value which you put directly into your pocket. Basically, this could be the best way for you to start making money. If I hear someone today that, oh my god, I have a problem, I have enough money, I cannot make a second job, oh, you don't want to work. There are so many opportunities now in AI. Viela is one of them. You could just go there and start doing it for the amount of $30. Even a student can begin making money with Viela.
Mm.
You're just lazy. That's all. Stop blaming the community. All right. So now, as we can see, it tried to run the migration and it didn't work. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go here. I'm going to take this SQL and go into SQL editor and try to run it manually. So I have success, no rows, and as you see, I already created my files here. So now I'm gonna go and try to seed in this information. That's gonna populate us with the data. Okay, so I found an error. So what I have to do now is just I'm gonna, yeah, you see it found the issue. Supabase not connected. Okay, let me connect to Supabase now. Let's see if it's gonna connect. I don't know. I'll just forget it. I'm just gonna go him this and I'm gonna tell him this very important. I want you to edit the file and fix this issue. Do not create a new SQL file. I see the large language models, they tend to create new SQL files for each type of iteration with any error you find while you're coding. But it has a logic, but at the same time, I literally don't like it. What's the logic here? He wants to have an iteration of each SQL file which he created in the entire communication between the files and the database in order for him to get a comprehensive overview in the future of how your database looks like, so he knows how to create the entire streamline of variables and files and so on inside of the code, right? But where I do see an issue here is that creating such many iterations of SQL files, you reach to enlarge your context window to such a humongous amount of code, to which, first of all, you limit your project. And secondly, what is the worst is that obviously you're going to pay a lot of money for sending trash data to your large language model, and then receive it back basically with almost nothing, right? So what I'm going to do is that I will never fix an error by creating a new SQL, but I'm going to always try to fix that SQL until it runs in order to move to the next one. And like this, I'm going to keep a clean version of my SQL. Now we have this error. Edit the file and fix the bug. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back in settings because I think I forgot it, and I'm going to add back the div mode because I really don't want to rewrite this entire file. I just want to fix the issues which we have now in the schema. All this entire process in where you create the front end for the authentication, for registration, for admin interface, and so on, is going to come very soon in Biela as an entire template. So you can start from there where you already have user registration, you have already different type of accounts in your back office, like for manager, for admin, and so on. So you will be able to start from a point where you have to focus basically on what's the idea of your business rather than how to build the structure at the very beginning for it. That's why I don't like working with databases, to be honest. It will take a lot of time. I'm pretty sure in 1 hour we will not be able to make much. That's why I'm trying to make it as much as educative I can while I go through these steps in order to teach our audience how it's actually Biela working. You see, it's very easy. I don't know nothing about development or something, and the step on which we are now is not a beginner's step, right? So I suggest that you should take at least one of the courses in Teach Me Code
Yeah.
and learn how to make all these. By the way, real courses, we really keep them. It's hard if it's not connected. It's not going to be so easy to, because I have to do this bounce back between the
Yeah.
platforms until I realize until I fix the file. But I don't think it's impossible. I did it many times. Do we have any questions from the public? Is anyone watching Biela? We are kind of lonely here. 8 people only from the whole internet. Imagine, and we are one of the most powerful service there. What a shame. Okay, I'm gonna do something more now. I'm gonna disable AI diff more and give the error one more time like this. That's that's sometimes it helps to just rewrite it from scratch, right? But when I can use diffs, I always use diffs. So I'm trying 2, 3 times with the diffs. I see diffs is not working. Worst comes to worst, I'm going to just switch one time for the rewriting of the entire file, and
Sure.
basically we should be fine. Are there any questions from our 7 members watching us? Scammers get audience. Real they don't, brother. But then obviously don't come to us and cry that you've been scammed after, right?
That's it.
But as you see, it didn't respected the order. I said this is the last step I wanted to do. I wanted to go through the entire process, but okay, maybe if he did it that way. But you know what I suspect? I suspect that he didn't updated the MD file because he didn't updated it after, and we thought it's ready.
Yes.
Yes,
There we
that's
go.
there we go. So now I'm gonna tell him, perfect, everything is good. We are going to continue with our uh, Where do we have it? Where do we have it? With our migration plan, at the end of the implementation, nothing will be static. Everything will be database connected, and all operations will be done through Superbase. Let's continue and mark at the end projects and new tasks which we have implemented. And very important to mention is that I run the SQL files by myself until they were successfully executed. So you can continue. Perfect. So now if I'm going to go here and I'm going to go in the table editor, I should see here in assignment missions. Yes, as you can see, maybe this is what you did last time, I don't know, but it just collected from there the courses and so on. And I'm pretty, if here in the, we should see if it created the users. No, we don't have users yet, yes? Because they are going to come later, I believe. So when you are in the table editor, if you want to go for to see if you have already users, you should go to auth, because this is the entire system which is used by Supabase to create your authentication system with the database. So it's not like in a normal database to go in the public. It has a special table for that. Okay, so now we are implementing the routes and the components with Supabase. Is he actually marking or? No, again, it's not marking. You see, it estimated 21 days of work for a team to do this. 21 days of work.
I mean, that's incredible, really, when you think about it.
We have more than half of the tasks done, and we are 40 minutes, and we didn't even knew from which point are we taking the project. Developer would have need a few days just to understand what is here, so from where to continue. Okay, I'll stop him, and I'm gonna tell him I stopped you here because I'm too lazy to impatient to wait for him. Rewrite the file and make sure you mark what has been done so far now and continue the development of the rest of the tasks. So I'm gonna go again in Control Center and I'm gonna disable the ADF mode because I really want to understand. I think I just discovered a new bug with this MD file not being written every time. I'm gonna check it. Okay, so all right. Now it's creating these routes, right? We are in session attend. Ah, all right. We need shopping cart functionality, e-commerce features.
I think the guys were considering the ability to purchase online courses.
Okay, let's see. Shall I proceed with phase 5? Well, delete the MD file and make sure until you proceed phase 5 that you verify it one more time, task by task, until here to make sure it's fully implemented. Ignore my typos. You can just type like that in vibe coding without any problems. Don't focus too much on the way you form, you phrase your sentence. It's much more important than the a small letter or this is not going to be a big difference unless it's bad and bad, you know.
If it's bad or bad, it's bad for everybody.
Nice. At least by the end of this call, I would love to have all the main things implemented. Even if it's full of bugs, I would like our colleague Dad to solve these bugs in the next call.
There's the invitation, Dad.
Okay, so here I have now the problem. You see how small is this MD file? Oh, this is how it was looking at the beginning. Look how much information he removed. Why? This is how it was my initial MD file. Why did you remove so many of the tasks? What is going on?
So Alex, that's an absolute demonstration of the importance of having that as a backup.
All right. So sometimes you have to go with this kind of prompts, right? You see, that's why I kept it, because I learned from the mistakes of the AI and I know how to control it in the future. That's the type of tricks and tips and tricks you will learn in Teach Me Code Institute. This type of things nobody's gonna tell you about. This you don't learn them online. These you can only get them from the experience, right? That's the whole point here. So unless you don't want to spend tens of thousands, literally tens of thousands of dollars just to learn how to prompt well and not to throw your money. All you'll have to do is to take a real course in Teach Me Code Institute once it is reopened, and that's most probably in 20 days from now.
Yeah.
And by the way, we will stream our entire launch online to all the social media, including Telegram and so on. So, and if you're in Dubai on 23rd, you are welcome to come to our institute launch.
Of course. Very exciting.
Okay, so we are 25% completed, right? So now let me go up and see what has been done. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna go now back in settings and make sure I'm marking the AIDIF mode, because the more files you start to have, the more interconnectivity there is gonna be between them. And without the AIDIF mode, you might rewrite an entire file just for something, just to show you something like this. Yeah, just for a hook or for an import. So you don't want that. That's why I told him to continue as it is, and I activated the diff mode. Amazing. Now we are integrating the API system for the payment systems. Sometimes when you have these type of questions and you don't know what to do, don't consider yourself outnumbered. Just go, just go to the plan and take your AI team with you and ask it. I have these questions. What is your professional advice? What should I answer? Right? You don't have to bother too much.
Okay, we've got an error.
I'm gonna ignore the errors, uh, and I'm just gonna tell him, you know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't updated the MD file. This is the very most important. Don't forget. Update the MD file and mark now with X what has been done so far, and then move to the next phase.
Again, Alex, another error.
Yeah. All right, let me see if it updated the. Oh, that's weird. Oh, okay. So, oh, it's good. We are now in the phase 4. Phase 4 seems to be completed, but there is still convertible components not implemented, course detail not implemented, and these are very important to be implemented before we continue. But we can check that in actually, let Biela do it.
That's a question that you know the answer to, right?
Yeah, I really do. And I'm kind of, yeah, it's looking good. You see, prematurely marked as complete. He even thought he completed them.
Yeah.
But he didn't even actually created them, see? That's why at the very end, I'm gonna tell him to take file by file, check him, and obviously finish it. I don't understand for what are we giving this hundreds of millions of tokens for free if the people then they come on the group and they don't even understand what they are doing there, but they also don't want to come in the live Zoom call or YouTube streaming in order for them to learn more. And you see, you put in their hands a business which can literally make them hundreds of millions of dollars if you are
Yeah.
smart enough, but they don't know how to take advantage of that, you see. But then they run in other kind of projects, and then it's literally frustrating. I don't understand what is this going on. Okay, anyway, people generally speaking, they chase the flying pig. Yes, brother.
Let them keep chasing.
Okay, I'm gonna check now what other parts. Okay, I want to make sure I'm going through all these parts before I go further, right?
This is nice because you're effectively using Biela as an
But
additional
no,
layer of
you
quality
see,
assurance.
here is the issue. They are still not marked. So what I'm
Ah,
gonna do now, I want you to take a deep look and really mark what has been done so far. Move in a new file without losing any kind of data, what has left to be done. No, actually, no. Let me make it like that, because I don't want him to split the data, and I just want him to rewrite it. So I'm gonna tell him what has been done. Check the code and then mark it. Do not alter structure. Your mission is only to mark, do not alter or remove any code and check. Okay, let's see. All right. Zoom, what are you using the Zoom for?
I don't know.
Well, I guess this is gonna be something which we will find out on our next Friday.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I wasn't on last Friday, so it's
All right.
we're discovering together.
But don't worry, everyone. I'm gonna make sure that Miss Dutch is gonna be here next Friday, and she's gonna complete this project with you. Okay. So that's it for now. I guess we are halfway there with our implementation. There is still a lot of tasks to be done, as you can see. We
But
just did.
there's a huge amount of tasks complete.
Yeah, because I
Wow.
wrapped up all the project and I'm going phase by phase, and at the end I'm just solving the errors. I just give him the entire big picture, John. I'm just not going to go now and do task by task because I have
Mm.
already the structure. So it has already the comprehensive understanding of what the project is going to be. So therefore, why I should not pack it all together with everything what I want, plan it well as I did it here, and then start just developing. And at the end, I solve the errors, I put it together, and that's it. It's ready without going and putting breadcrumbs inside of it, right?
Yeah, yeah, get it.
Okay, it's kind of you cannot like you cannot stop. You just want to go forward
It's
and see this
addictive, right?
question mark and how it's going on, and it's very very interesting. So, but I think we learned a lot today from this exercise and scenario, and I'm pretty sure we will be able to learn more and more with this project. I think it's a good exercise
Absolutely.
to understand how we migrate from a commonly done mistake, let's say, in the world of vibe coding towards a fully functional product, and by understanding and meeting real issues which they are met in generally when it comes about vibe coding. And we need to know that Biela has the capability to solve a lot of them by itself, but obviously you still find some limitations of the entire technology which exists right now, but the more you will understand it, the easier is it going to be for you.
Of
All right,
course.
thank you very much for today. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and I'm waiting for you on Biela.dev and on our telegram group. If you join telegram group and discord group, you will get 5 million tokens for free. And don't forget, Biela awards you 200,000 free tokens every single day for you to try the vibe code. Thank you very much. Thank you, John, and
Thanks, Alex. Have a great weekend, everybody.
thank you. Have a
Bye
great day.
bye.
Bye bye.